These videos help me out like a lot and help me come to terms with a lot of things that's been going on in my life. And a topic that I really wanted to talk about is just keeping your peace. And I found that to be really important lately because of actually two instances that had happened to me. Um, and it just one happened, well, both happened this past week. And it's funny because I know like the whole Mercury retrograde thing is going on right now. So, and it's a time for people to really grow and stop suppressing things that they might have in the past, and just thinking about the past. That's what Mercury retrograde is kind of all about. So one instance that made me think of this concept of keeping my peace is when I had saw an old friend on the bus, and yes, I was taking the bus to school. I am currently in the process of trying to get my car situated together, so don't be like, oh, like this. Don't fucking judge me for taking the bus. Is basically what I'm saying, because I know there are people out there that I've encountered people that look down on others that might not have as much money as them and think they're less hardworking because they don't have the things that they have, which is not the case for me because I'm very hardworking. I do everything on my fucking own, bitch. So I just wanted to put that out there. But back to the story. I had ran into an old friend or whatever, and me and this girl, our friendship just didn't work out and it ended on a very bad note. And I just do not want to get into all of that type of shit because I don't really feel the need to. So on the bus, she hadn't said anything to me. Like I looked in her direction and I looked away because there was nothing to say. Like we're not friends anymore. And oftentimes, like when girls still feel a way about like the friendship ending or just have this like envy of you, and I'm not trying to like boost myself when I say that, but I like to look at why people are doing the things that they do. So if someone is constantly trying to get your attention and constantly trying to trigger negative emotions out of you, they're probably mad at you for whatever that you've done. But a lot of the times people treat you in a way that they see themselves. Is that like, does that make any sense? I hope I'm making sense when I say that. People will treat you in the way that they feel about themselves, is basically what I'm trying to say. So she like I didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. Like I thought it was cool. So 2 hours later, my stupid ass was looking for whatever because I knew the type of person she is. Like she's very much a bird head. Like she's the type of person like that will poke at you and poke at you, and then once you finally react, she'll be like, what are you even talking about? Like she'll act all confused and dumbfounded. And I knew she would be hella immature about us running into each other. So I had looked on her Twitter, and she was tweeting about me. She was talking bad shit. She was fucking lying on Twitter saying that she blew kisses at me, and I didn't look in her direction, and I'm scary, and I'm this that, like just all of those things. And it made me think to myself like, so when I completely ignore you, I'm still scary and I don't want any trouble with you or whatever you may think. But if I were to have caused a scene right when I saw you, I wouldn't be happy with myself because one, a bus like that is a shared space, shared public space with people. It's already kind of an uncomfortable situation. So why am I going to go out of my way to make other people feel uncomfortable on the bus? Because I've seen many people do that type of shit. I've seen a lot of shit go on the bus that made me feel very uncomfortable. So it's like I don't want to be that I don't want to be that bitch. I'm not gonna make y'all feel uncomfortable because of this girl. And she's like, it's not even she was bothering me. It's just like that is over with. Our friendship is over with. There doesn't have to be any beef or have to be any back and forth. But the fact that she was tweeting about me made me think like, okay, you are clearly trying to pull something out of me here. I'm gonna see this because we have mutual friends or whatever. I'm gonna see this, so that's why you're tweeting it so I can react. Okay, and it's just not even. it's just like, what did you expect me to do? Did you expect me to cuss at you? Did you expect me to want to put my hands on you? On the like come on now, please, let's just grow up. And I, looking back at that situation now, I'm glad I kept my peace because I'm a very calm person because I try to keep my cool with situations because I know if I reach at a certain point, I have the power to knock someone's fucking head off. So I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I have to knock somebody's head off because I'm the bad person. Once I react, I'm the bad person. Oh, okay. So that's just one instance, and it really isn't a big deal because, like I said, case closed. Like I'm kind of over that situation, but it's very interesting how people will. It's very interesting what people will do for attention. Is basically what I'm trying to say. It's very, very interesting. And a second instance that made me think of this concept too is the relationship that I have with my mother. I'm not gonna go too much into that because I just feel like I don't need to. But if you know me or you've been watching this channel, even though I have a very small audience, but I'm trying to be like more consistent and more real on this platform because I'm making these for documentation purposes and for me to look back and see my growth. But back to what I was talking about. So basically, me and her do not have the best relationship, and I'm not going to say it was entirely on her because I probably have done some things that have hurt her in the past. But the person that I am trying to be now, like I've done a lot of changing, and I feel like in just the last half of this year and the past month, it's just been a lot of changes for me, and the changes in the way I respond to things, changes in my attitude. So, especially in the way I respond to things. So, when I would, like I said, when I see bullshit coming my way, I look the other way because I don't have time to deal with that shit anymore because I have realized that I'm constantly in this life where I have to escape from. Like, I'm never comfortable, and I just want to be comfortable and stable. I want to be comfortable and stable with the people that I have around me, too. And when it comes to family, people that you have certain obligations to, it becomes even harder because once they're pushing you to a point where you feel like you cannot be comfortable or you cannot live peacefully, that's when it becomes a fucking problem. And that's what I've seen in my mother. Like, honestly, I would say it's like borderline abuse. And I'm not one of those people to like completely just throw a label on whatever it is that I'm feeling for attention. I'm not saying everyone does it for attention, but you know those people who are like sad or whatever, and then they say that they're depressed and they have this horrible depression, but really they're just sad. Or, you know, a person might have a bad day with their parents or just a back and forth or whatever, and all of a sudden they have an abusive parent. No, like my mother is dead ass abusive, like emotionally abusive. She never is physically abusive because she knows better. I'm not even trying to say that like to be funny, but really she knows better. But emotionally abusive as in trying to pull negative emotions out of me so I can do something out of my character so everyone else in the family could look at me like, oh, well, this is her fault. This is her fault. This is her problem because she doesn't know how to act. She is in me. Or because the police has gotten involved in our situations, her to call the fucking police and have a record put on me because I did something to retaliate in a way where, because I was feeling abused or unsafe in my own home, where I was feeling verbally attacked, which she does a lot. And I've gotten better at ignoring it, but like I said, I look to see why she's doing the things that she's doing, and it's for attention and it's to pull a negative emotion out of me. And I just do not understand why people lately have been trying that shit with me because just the level of chill that I've been on in the past month or so is just like I'm extremely proud of myself because I've never been at this point where I'm just completely nonchalant about everything. Yeah, things still hurt and I'm still the same me. You know, I still take things personally and I rarely ever forget things. That's why it's important for me to keep myself out of conflict and keep myself out of drama because for those very reasons, I don't forget things and things really affect me when it affects me. So I'm not going to have negative emotions pulled out of me unnecessarily. Like Sade Watkins, I forgot which video it was exactly, but she was explaining, and I love Sade Watkins. She's like my favorite YouTuber. And she was explaining, in your day, in your regular normal everyday, nothing that is extremely sad is supposed to happen to you. Nothing that is extremely angering is supposed to happen to you. And oftentimes we normalize that because of who we're around, what we have dealt with in the past. But that's not normal. Like, you are supposed to have somewhat of a balanced life all the time. Of course, there's going to be some bullshit that's thrown at you here and there, but it shouldn't be a life that you're routinely trying to escape from because you just do not like it. Okay, your life is supposed to be balanced. It's not supposed to be chaotic, and that's a lesson that I'm trying to learn every single day. That's why I've changed my reaction to a lot of shit, because it's just like, for a really long time, I was living a life where I had to routinely escape. And that is very uncomfortable to live in. It's just like, why can't I just live? Why can't I just be? I'm just constantly in anger and rage, and I've let a lot of that type of shit go. So when people try to come in my space and try to ruin that for me with their bullshit, whatever they're going on, whatever they have going on in their life that they're trying to project onto me, it angers me so much, because it's like, when you really know yourself and you are dead ass trying to grow, not just saying you're trying to grow, but you're really doing the work, people just become so funny. Like, the way people move just becomes so like funny. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but I'm just rambling. Like, people just become so funny because I see through a lot of shit. Like, but with that being said, I make these videos to better me. And if I build an audience while I'm at it, that's great. But I already feel so much better now that I've let that off my chest. And, you know, see, I have a Leo moon. So whenever I'm feeling away, I have to show what I'm feeling inside, or else I will just completely burst. Um, but I've gotten a lot better at maintaining my peace and not having the type of mentality where I have to match other people's negative energy. Like, I'm not doing that stupid shit anymore. I'm not. So, um, I'm just I'm not really gonna do a whole life update, because I'm one of those people where I can't like just talk about what's been going on with me. I have to kind of like get into conversation with people so I can be like, oh, so this happened the other day. You know what I mean? Like, I have to do this in increments. So I'm gonna try to do this YouTube shit right this time, and just to be completely me and be completely authentic. Um, yeah, so that's all that I really wanted to talk about. Keep your peace and maintain it. Do not let anyone take you out of your character. Do not let anyone try to pull negative emotions out of you, because once you maintain your peace, whatever they got going on, that's on them. But as soon as you actually invest yourself into that foolishness, you just become like them. So be yourself, do what makes you happy, and do what is right for you, regardless of who it hurts. And cut the fuck off. Cut some family ties off if you have to, because you're not obligated to these people. I mean, given the situation you are, because like if you're still in high school or whatever, you're obligated to them because you're not a fucking adult yet. Even adults are, some of them are obligated to their parents, but if you have zero obligation to them and you are living in a toxic household environment where you feel like you can't leave because you're scared of what might happen to you, trust me, make those steps. And those are the type of steps that I've been trying to make, and moves that I've been trying to do to get the fuck away from this type of situation. So I encourage everyone to do that, because I want to put out positivity. That's all. So yeah, everyone enjoy their night, day, what afternoon, whenever you're watching this.